Hello, I'm Chuck Phillips, South Alabama Home Inspections, and welcome to another edition of Southern Home Talk. And I'm going to continue on with how to protect your home from termites. And this second part, what I'm doing is using a product called Taurus SC. And so in order to use this, you have to come out and trench around your foundation wall 6 inches deep, 6 inches wide. And what I used to do this with is a pickaxe and a rake, a hoe, and a little trowel shovel to make it around these corners. And it's also handy to maybe have a bucket to put the excess dirt in, because that has to be treated and put back in as the backfill. I also think it's useful to dig this out the day before you use the product, because you can see the soil is starting to dry a little bit, so this is going to make it more absorbent to the chemical when I apply it. And this chemical goes undetected by termites. It's not a repellent, and so they will actually go through this soil, and when they make contact with it, will bring it back to the nest and infect the others and thus kill the entire colony. Now, one thing I do want to kind of point out is these bait stations, and I've been doing some research on these, and I found that some pest control companies will not use these because of several reasons. One, they claim that unless the termites find this, they're not going to go after it. And I have found houses that had termites in them that had bait stations all around the house. And there's also been other pest control companies that I've listened to that claim that this can actually attract them to your house. And if they're not maintained, well, then they may move on to the structure. But another thing about being maintained, they have to be checked frequently, and they also have to be refilled. And so just know that there's controversy around these termite bait stations, but me personally, I would not depend on these bait stations as the only form of protection of termites to your home. So stay tuned, and I'll show you how I'm going to go ahead and mix up this product and apply it. Hello, I'm Chuck Phillips with South Alabama Home Inspections, and welcome to another edition of Southern Home Talk. And so what we're going to be working with is a product called Taurus SC. It's a termiticide and also a pesticide. It works on other insects other than just termites. But the application I'm going to be using it for is to do a ground treatment. And what we're going to be doing is putting 0.8 ounces per 1 gallon of water. And this can simply be accomplished by tipping it over with the cap on. Let it settle at the 8:0 mark. And then pour it in the bucket. So it's kind of milky. And you probably do want to use gloves, even though I'm not doing it for this presentation. And the way I'm going to mix this is by pouring these buckets into one another. I've kind of shortened this up. I've already put 2.8 ounces of chemical in that one, and that was the last one for the other one, so I split the difference between the two. And what I recommend also is, as far as helping you getting the 4 gallon level correct, is using 4 1-gallon empty jugs, and then after you fill it up with 4 of them, you can actually put you a mark on the bucket in order to get the line level, so you don't have to keep using that gallon jug to get your measurements for the water quantity. And I also have a 2-gallon sprayer, so you're going to be using 0.8 ounces 2 times, which is a 2-gallon sprayer. And this is going to be used to spray the backfill, because that dirt has to be treated before you put it back into the trench, because termites can't operate at the surface level, so all that dirt and backfill needs to be treated. Now, another good thing about Taurus is you can use this as a barrier spray, and it needs to be applied about every 3 months. But basically all that's in the directions on the product, so I recommend that you read that, and you can also go online and probably find a PDF file on all the different methods you can use Taurus SC. So anyway, what we're going to do now is, I've already got the trench dug out there, and so it's just a matter of time of going out there and filling it in. And it's going to be working it in a 10-foot section, so 4 gallons is good for 10 feet, and a 20-ounce bottle is good for 60 linear feet. And they also make these in larger sizes if you need more perimeter chemical to do that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start that project out there in the front. Okay, I'm still moving right along. But there, you may have a case where you have some pretty steep sloping areas along your foundation, And if you have that scenario, you may want to create a little dam, and I'm using a brick there so it doesn't just rush all the way out of it. So let's see if I can. You don't want a whole lot of product at one end of the area you're trying to treat. So basically I'm doing this in 5-foot sections. I'm splitting the bucket in half, half of the product in one 5-gallon bucket and the other half in the other 5-gallon bucket, and just doing it 5 feet at a time. So there again, you know, this is designed 4 gallons for 10 linear feet. Okay, I've already filled this trench up. I've worked it in 5-foot sections, went out 10 feet with 4 gallons, and so now it's just a matter of time of going back and just making another batch and continuing the process all along the foundation wall. And so, you know, probably the biggest part of the work to this is doing the trenching itself, and depending on how your soil is will determine on how much effort you have to put in, you know, digging it out. But this wasn't too bad. I had pretty good soil, and so now it's just a matter of time of spraying the backfill, because this needs to be treated before you put it back into the trench. And you can also spray the wall too. That will kind of help protect it as well. And just keep rolling all around, and so that's it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and summarize this real quick. You know, pretty much what I used was Taurus SC, and it's the active ingredient is FIPRONIL. It works on more than just termites. But the main thing is, if you're not comfortable working with chemicals, is to use a qualified pest control company. A lot of pest control people do use this product, but the main thing is to stay vigilant and also do your own inspections in conjunction with your exterminator, because it takes a joint effort to sometimes find these problems. Now, I also have another episode 85, and that's a video I did about some of the termites I found doing my home inspections, and it's really not part of a home inspection, but I do kind of sort of look out for wood destroying organisms when I do one, and so it can be a little bit informative to help you maybe find places around your house that could be affected by termites. So anyway, please like the Facebook page and also subscribe to the YouTube channel, and share the video too, because more than likely you may help someone save their house from this sort of problem, because Formosan termites are really bad, and they're also active year-round in our area. Thanks for watching.